Hi and welcome to my channel. This is I Shall Air. Hi everyone, welcome. I'm making this video so that we can get to know each other a little bit better. So this is actually not my first time posting here on YouTube. Actually in 2012, I started posting a couple of videos to YouTube. At the time, YouTube was fairly newish. There weren't a lot of what we know today as social influencers or social media influencers or content creators. I didn't even know at the time that YouTube could, or your channel could be monetized, or people weren't really making careers off of YouTube, things like that. So it was really just getting started, I guess. And I myself didn't watch a lot of YouTube videos as I do today. But I've always just felt this desire to share my own findings or my own insights, learnings, and to inspire and help other people. At the time of posting those videos, I was also pursuing my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I was actively pursuing or exploring other healing modalities such as life coaching, neuro-linguistic programming, hypnotherapy, reflexology, Reiki, counseling. I would also read a lot of books related to self-help, motivational, inspirational type of literature, and also a lot of spiritual literature or things related to manifesting or manifestation. And spirituality. I was coming out of religion, which is another long story for another day. Also, I've always been a very introspective person, and I've been fascinated with understanding my own behavior and my own psychology. And I used to write poetry from a very young age. I remember writing my first poem around the age of 6. And I loved the sound of rhyming words and alliteration, and I would use this even as I grew older. And also as I grew older, I had this desire to move people with my words, emotionally move people, and also inspire people through poetry and prose. So I started blogging, and I would write, articles, like inspiring articles, or just articles sharing about things that I've learned in terms of psychology and personal development. And I also started vlogging. I think today vlogging has a different meaning. Like vlogging is like kind of like watching someone's life, or maybe the meaning has never changed. But for me back then, it just meant like a video blog. Instead of like a writing blog, it was a video blog. So I decided like I need to get on YouTube and I need to share these things on video. But I was extremely self-conscious when I was younger. I mean, I am still to a certain degree. I do have a degree of shyness about me, but I have come a long way in overcoming some of these traits, or or sometimes I call them self-limiting beliefs or self-sabotaging behaviors, because as you can see, it has stopped me from posting on YouTube for 12 years. I remember one of the articles that I wrote about back then was on depression. And why I think about that now is that I just posted my first, now in this year, this era of my life, the first video that I've posted is on depression. And if you want to check that video out, by the way, there's a link in the description, or I will post it somewhere on the screen as well. But it's just so fascinating for me to see my growth over the last 12 years, the way I thought about concepts back then and how I think about them now. It's just, I have expanded so much in my knowledge and thinking and experience. I think thanks in part to my formal education in psychology, as well as my just life experience. So I've come such a long way, and I feel that now is really the time where I can post without feeling like, am I doing the right thing, or am I saying the right thing, or should I take this down? No, I am here to share confidently and comfortably with you at this time. Not only have I grown in the sense of expanding my knowledge on psychological topics and topics of personal development, but I've also grown in the sense of overcoming some of those limiting beliefs that I've been referring to, including self-consciousness, including things like perfectionism. Actually, the other day I was watching a show and someone referred to themselves as a recovering perfectionist, and I was like, that is such an amazing term, because I can so relate to that. So not only am I here to share my knowledge and experiences with you, but also to share how I've overcome a lot of these self-limiting beliefs like fear of failure, perfectionism, self-consciousness, a lot of self-sabotage, low self-confidence, low self-worth, things like that. Finally, in 2021, I graduated with my master's degree in psychology, and there I was at the pinnacle of realizing one of my lifelong dreams of becoming a therapist. What I didn't realize was that because of the visa that I'm on, I am not allowed to earn an income outside of the organization that I work for. And so I hired a lawyer, and we were exploring all sorts of different paths that I could take in order to make this work, because I wanted to keep my full-time job while I started my career as a new therapist part-time. And we explored and exhausted all avenues, and there just didn't seem to be a path that would work for me, for what I wanted to do and for what I felt comfortable with. And I remember that last call with the lawyer, and after hanging up, instead of feeling angry and frustrated and sad or upset, I felt a deep sense of relief. And I had to step back and question, why the relief? Why that feeling instead of, the what I thought I would feel, which was anger and frustration at not being able to practice or being able to step into this role that I had been pursuing for so long, after more than 10 years of studying 3 degrees, thousands of dollars, blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, I was, and I'm not able to do what I've been targeting or aiming towards. And it took me months to kind of unravel this feeling of why I was feeling relieved, and what now? What am I going to do now if I don't want to do therapy? And am I making the right decision? Is this a decision out of fear? Because, by the way, I was practicing as a therapist for a year in an internship. So it's not like I didn't know, or I wasn't doing therapy in practice. So it wasn't necessarily fear, or that I feared being a new therapist or anything like that. And I had to really, it felt like I was going through an existential crisis or a tower moment, like, how people refer to in the tarot as a tower moment, or having the rug pulled out from under me, because it was just so bizarre that, I didn't want to be a therapist anymore. And I was, there were a lot of feelings that came up, feelings of failure, because I worked so hard for something and now I just felt like I failed at it. There were feelings of regret, of having wasted so much time and money even though, you know, other people look at it, and when I tell them that, they're like, no, but it's never a waste, and you've learned so many skills and all blah blah blah. No, I totally get that, but I still had those feelings. And in my exploration, I realized that I still love psychology. It was just, I guess, the one-on-one modality of counseling, and also, and most importantly, kind of like the rules and regulations and restrictions that happens within the psychological fields in itself. And I just wasn't comfortable with that. I wasn't comfortable with all those restrictions, and I also felt very drained working with people in that way. But one thing that was calling me, and has been calling me for a very long time, even since I first started posting those videos in 2012, is this desire to share my knowledge, and specifically here on YouTube, where we have access to a much larger audience. And for the first time, I understood what people mean when they say a calling, because this thing would not leave me alone. I mean, it was a real calling. I even begged for this feeling to go away, to leave me alone, because I would try so hard to, you know, I was recording videos, I was scripting videos, I was brainstorming ideas, I had lists and lists of topics that I wanted to talk about. But when it came to posting and sharing and putting myself out there, there was a real block. There was a massive block, and it was so frustrating for me that I tried to ignore the calling. I tried to push it away, and the more that I ignored it, the more miserable I felt, and the more I started engaging in self-destructive behaviors, unhealthy behaviors, and just going down a terrible path. But something shifted for me recently, and all I can say is I am here, and hopefully I'm here to stay, and I'm here to share this soul journey with you, and I would really love to build a community here on YouTube and just inspire and help people in any way that I can. Psychology and personal development are not my only passions. I do have other passions, such as, you know, I mentioned the writing, but interior design, spirituality, things like that. So I don't want to corner myself, especially since I'm a new YouTuber. So do expect to see other topics from me as I feel inspired to share. So if you feel like you resonate with me, if you feel like you resonate with my story, and believe me, this is not my full story. I have a lot to share with you guys. So if you feel like you're vibing with me, then please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you can get notified, or I think you have to click on the notification button for that. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment, share the video. And also, if you don't feel like that, that is 100% okay with me. Okay, guys. I look forward to seeing you in some more videos. Oh, and I will leave my other video link down below. All right, bye for now.